Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Tank Observers podcast. My name is Jackson McCarty, as always joined by my co-host Chris Barr. And Chris, what are we doing today?
Well, if you haven't been here for the past 2 episodes, I'll remind you. We're doing superlatives,
Yes.
but this time wide receivers, because we've already done quarterbacks and running backs. If you want to see that, go watch them.
It's on the channel.
It's there.
It's a couple clicks away, man.
It's not that far.
I would say if you've made it this far, you can backtrack a little bit and get to those.
And if you can't, I don't know how you're actually on YouTube at all.
To follow up with something we were talking about last time, this is just receivers. We will do a separate video for tight ends. I know we talked a little bit about potentially doing them both together, but we've decided to split them up because they are individual classes and they deserve their own attention.
Also, there's too many tight ends, so we actually just couldn't fit in one video.
Yes, unless you wanted it to be a 40-minute ordeal with 5-6 tight ends and 7-8 wide receivers.
We used to.
We used to do that. We used to be running hour-long episodes. We've made it shorter for you guys. To kick this one off, we've got Mr. Heisman himself, Devonta Smith. Topher, go ahead and tell him what his superlative is.
Most likely to end up on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was a high school superlative. And if it is, it's a mouthful of a high school superlative.
Whenever I wrote that one down, it was a combination of two I saw, which was most likely to hike Mount Rushmore and most likely to become president. So I was just kind of like, sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I firmly believe that this guy's a stud. People talk about his size. I don't care. They talk about his speed. Out of this world. He put on a show. He's arguably one of the best receivers to play at Alabama. He's their all-time leading receiver. He's the all-time leading receiver in the SEC.
Yes.
He's their all-time leading touchdown guy. I believe he had 23 touchdowns this year. If he's not, he's damn close.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. So if he goes to the Jets, he's already one of the best players they've ever had on their team. So he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore there. They talk about like the Lakers Mount Rushmore. They're like, oh, it's Shaq, Kobe, Kareem. He could end up on a team like that, like where he's one of the best players they've ever had. So mostly end up on Mount Rushmore. That was a real just stumbling, bumbling mess. But it most likely to end up on Mount Rushmore makes a lot of sense for this player.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of talk where people try to 1A, 1B it for wide receivers. You know,
Yes.
Would you rather have Jamar? Would you rather Devonta?
No one can talk today. I just sped through that. You
Hot
might
start.
want to slow that down to like half speed. I was going really fast with my talking.
We'll see what I can do in post with that one. But I'm very firm Devonta Smith is the number one receiver in this class. I can't justify drafting a wide receiver super high in the draft, especially not with the most recent classes. There's guys in the 3rd, 4th round, like DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin. You can find quality talent later on. But if I had to, gun against my head, pick a receiver to take early on, I'm taking Devonta Smith. 9 times out of 10.
Of course.
He's very, very talented player, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the league. Somebody we have not seen in a whole year of football action, Jamar Chase. We have decided to give him the most dramatic. Topher, go ahead and tell us a little bit why.
People still like to argue he's one of the top receivers. He reminds me of Mike the Situation from Jersey Shore because he's in everyone's business. Devonta Smith just won the Heisman. He's the all-time leading SEC receiver.
Okay.
And Jamar Chase is like, but what about me? Want to see my abs? Like, yo, it's a situation. Yeah, it is a situation. Stop pretending you're the number one receiver in this class and go be the best number 2 receiver, or at least play the year of football instead of worrying that you might lose the spot anyway.
Yeah, that's my whole thing for why I was okay with putting for most dramatic. He is a cliffhanger prospect. We saw him coming fresh off the heels of a Blitnikoff Award, best receiver in the nation, if you don't know what that is. He went from that to sideline MVP. We didn't get to see him. And I really, really, really wanted to see him for a year without Joe Burrow. Let's see you be the guy. Terrace Marshall just did it. Terrace Marshall looked great this year.
Marshall did look great.
But
good for him.
If Jamar Chase could have done something similar to that, maybe he is my wide receiver one. but he couldn't because he wasn't there. And it makes me nervous thinking about there was bits and pieces of his game. Will he ever achieve elite status in any one spot? Right now, he looks like he'll be at maximum very good at everything, but jack of all trades aren't typically your star guy. So
yeah, look at Tyler Boyd.
yeah, that's who I personally comp him to.
Tyler Boyd, I personally just don't like Tyler Boyd. I don't have a reason.
It's just something about him.
I don't have a reason. It's just
I used to be like that with Hushmanzada.
TJ Hushmanzada.
I just really don't.
It's just the Bengals, man. It's what they do.
It is a very Bengals thing to just not have a reason but dislike the player.
Hushmanzada, Tyler Boyd, Andy Dalton, Red Rocket. I don't know. I don't get it.
Don't disrespect the Rocket for
The
one.
Rocket. He's on the Cowboys now. I even disrespect him more.
But yeah, no, Jamar Chase wraps that up for most dramatic. Jaylen Waddle, bringing back an old school, one of our favorite ones to use. Topher, what superlative did we give him?
Field day MVP. I mean, have you ever seen the guy move? He's that kid when you're in school and you're running the mile.
Yeah.
And you get finished with your second lap and he's hanging out on the side, like sweating out of breath, like, oh man, that was a good one. Like, you're already done?
That was a good workout.
Dude, I've been walking.
He's like, that was a good workout. When does the real stuff start?
Yeah. Dude, you're on the football team. You don't need to try for this. Chill out, bro. We all know that you run your 6-minute miles. Calm down. No one likes him.
He
No
is.
one likes that kid.
God, is Jaylen Waddle at risk of becoming your new Tyler Boyd? Because it sounds like you have a different level of bitterness towards those guys.
No, it's just I just reminded myself of people I went to high school with.
Yeah, let's avoid from saying names.
I'll keep their names out of my mouth.
Yeah, keep them up here. But Waddle steals this spot out of Rondell Moore's hands, which crushes me to do. Which you'll hear us talk about Rondell here in a sec. Don't you worry.
Of course, yes, Rondell. How can you forget about Rondell? If you've ever been on this YouTube channel, you know who Rondell is.
Yes, it's
Rondell
kind of a
Moore.
miracle we don't call this show the Rondell Moore Appreciation Show at this point.
Was that last year?
From got it a lot. Easton got it a lot.
From.
I was big on Rager, which does not look good right now.
No, it doesn't.
There were a couple more.
The Eagles don't look good right now. They're about to sign Gerard Mayo as their head coach. No offense to Gerard Mayo, but he's been a Patriots linebacker coach for 2 seasons.
Yeah. It's like
Might wanna
signing
pump
Kellen.
the brakes.
It's like signing Kellen Moore. But regardless, Jaylen Waddle he has burner speed. He is liquid quick, man. He surprisingly stout for how small of a wide receiver he is. And he's got some hands on him. He can catch in some traffic. So I like him as he is a pretty versatile player. But for that high speed player, you got to give him field day.
You didn't even mention you can jump through the gym, but yeah, that too.
He can jump through the gym. From somebody who wows you every time they step on the field to somebody who's a bit more rugged and consistent in what they want to do, Rashad Bateman. Topher, take it away.
He's most traditional. The Ford Model T of wide receivers. Super boring, and he's 1 letter away from being Batman.
Yes.
But none of that really has anything to do with him. But he is the most traditional receiver likely in this draft class. Most draft classes have at least one of these guys. 2014 had Allen Robinson.
Yeah, who, God bless, that shot him through the roof.
Yes. He was really actually entered more as a jump ball guy, but he was just that 6'3" frame. He's just that dude. That's this dude. He's just that standard, like, yeah, you're going to go out, you're going to catch 5 passes for 70 yards, and if you hit that point in the third quarter, you might as well sit down because you're not going to get anywhere. That's just how you are.
It's funny that you mentioned how every class has one of these guys because in my notes here, one of the guys I comped him to was this guy of last year who was T. Higgins. And then Devontae Parker, who was that guy of his draft class.
Yes, every class has that one dude.
Yeah, they're good at jump balls.
Basic, your standard, like you can throw it up to him in the end zone. He'll probably come down with it, or he'll drop it because he already has 1 touchdown that game, and he can't go past that because he's so basic.
He's just comfortable.
He's too generic to be better than what he is.
Yeah, he plays comfortably, and nothing wrong with that if you know how good you are at your specific role set. Good at jump balls, versatile enough not to just be, go out there on the goal line only.
Yep.
So Rashad Bateman, he brings value to your team. I don't think he'll ever be a top 10 receiver, but he's a very valuable guy to have in the locker room. Simple enough.
Yes.
That
is literally the most simple way to describe him. And yeah.
He's the stock image version of a receiver.
He is. Yes, that's exactly what Rashad Bateman is.
Now, to somebody who is very much against the status quo here,
Oh my goodness.
The man, the myth, the legend, one Mr. Rondell Moore, who we decided to give most likely to fly under the radar.
You're up, yeah.
Okay.
You looked like you looked at me to tell me, like, yo, start talking.
Yeah, a little bit, but it'd be all right. Rondell is far too overlooked for my liking.
I agree.
We love him on the show, big guy on the show. Come on the show, Rondell. I know you're watching.
Yes, I guarantee he's one of the 30 people that view this. Come on.
Yeah, you're my wide receiver 3, man. I'd love to have you on and hear what you think. But I don't think he'll be selected in the first round anymore, as unfortunate as it is.
So lame.
It really, 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 really is. But if he can follow the Colts in the second round, maybe.
Oh, just replace TY with another TY? That'd be so cool.
Be perfect with that.
Yeah, why change anything about that franchise? They've been so successful.
Well, you need a quarterback, regardless. He may not be a first round.
Eason.
I know, and I love Eason, but he's got to have another year, I think, realistically, right?
I don't know. I mean, Mahomes only sat for 1 year, and they're basically the same person. I got that off with a straight face, guys.
As much as I'd like to say that statement was anywhere near accurate, Rondell has the opportunity, no matter where he's selected, while he's playing NFL football, to be like, hey, by the way, I was in that draft class, and you're going to remember it. So, yeah. Your opinions on Rondell Moore?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to talk too. That's a thing. I forgot. So, yeah, he's just falling for absolutely no reason at all.
Yes.
Couldn't tell you why, but it's for sure happening. Probably because he is a very undesirable size. He's short and skinny. Yes. He's both of those things. It's not like he's...
Double whammy.
It's not like his neck's as thick as his head like Tyreek Hill. But, yeah, right?
God, scary.
These traps just scare the crap out of me. But, yeah, Rondell Moore's don't. And he's literally the mirror image or mirror opposite, however you phrase that.
Polar opposite.
That's the one. I was right there. But yeah, he's the exact opposite of what Rondell Moore is.
Rashad Bateman.
Rashad Batman is.
There you go.
Yeah, Rashad Batman. He's the opposite of him, and that's why he's probably falling. And for some reason below Batman. I don't know why Batman is over him.
Batman.
I'm Batman. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, on to the final two, we have decided to take one, or we've decided to split it up to where I get to do my guy, pick his superlative, Tover gets to pick his guy. No input needed. We kind of pitch our cases for this one.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and kick this one off. I've got Sage Surratt being the valedictorian. And that's not just because he was this valedictorian in high school and he's a very intelligent kid. He plays a very smart brand of football. He's not an athletic freak. I mean, he's big and he can win with his body, but most of his success comes from playing chess on the football field. You can see him, he's picking apart the weaknesses. He's finding his areas. And he knows how to use that frame well. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but he knows how to make that distance, and he knows how to keep it at the best as he possibly can. So with all of those all together, he reminds me of somebody that could be like a Terry McLaurin role, who not the most athletic guy by any stretch of the word, but he's going to get in there and he's going to work hard.
Now, you said Sage Surratt was his high school valedictorian.
Yes.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
So while I do my guy, which I like everything he said.
Yeah.
Can you Google and see if he was on the high school chess club?
Yep.
Sweet. All right. So my pick is Chris Olave for quietest in the class, because why isn't he getting love? Jackson.
Olave?
Yeah. Why isn't he getting love?
He's a bit more boring. He's technical.
So unremarkable. You know who else was like that? Jarvis Landry. And this is my pick to be this class's Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry was like the 5th or 6th, maybe even 7th receiver off the board in 2014. And I can see that happening to Olave. But you know what Jarvis Landry did? He became not only the #1 receiver on the Dolphins immediately, but he also is now teamed up with his college teammate, Odell Beckham Jr., who was like the 4th receiver or 3rd receiver off the board. And he's actually outplaying him. So you know what? Good on you, Jarvis. And Chris Olave is going to do the same thing. But he is the quietest because no one is even talking about him like he's a person.
Yeah.
They're just pretending he's not there.
He's kind of fallen to that weird middle ground where it's like, oh, well, here are our first round guys. Here are our sleeper guys. He's kind of in the gray where it's like
Olave's here too. He also plays football.
he'll go like 40th, 42nd, 44th, somewhere in there.
So lame.
Won't be really. He'll be like, oh, that's a good pick. It's not gonna be like, oh my god, I have to go buy a jersey.
Yeah, wait for a guy like Cody Lattimore to go before Chris Olave, and it's so weird, man. I don't get how he's falling. He's just awesome at stuff.
It's very unfortunate. Another thing that's unfortunate, could not find any proven record that Sage Surratt was on his chess team.
So disappointing.
I know. What a sad way to wrap up the show, but
yeah, no evidence to back up the fact that Sage Surratt is a huge chess guy.
Hey, huge chess guy, I'm going to assume it, unless you want to come on the show and prove us otherwise. Sage.
Yo, Sage Surratt, comment below if you were in the chess club, because I guarantee that Wake Forest wide receivers watch Tank Observers.
Hey.
This is gonna age very well if he joins us for a show.
Hey, here's hoping. But yes, all good things must come to an end. We've brought the wide receivers done for right now. Next up, tight ends.
It's one of my favorite parts.
It's gonna be great.
Obviously outside of talking about Captain Mohawk.
We'll get Pitts, Freiermuth, Brevin, Ruckert.
Love Ruckert.
Hunter Long from Boston.
Pitts is just so dude. He's a wide receiver that's pretending he's a tight end.
He's Darren Waller.
He's a little unfair.
Yeah.
Brevin's my pick for Waller of the year.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like he's a tight end.
Don't give any of it away yet. We gotta save that for the next show. Gotta give him more easy.
Darren Waller isn't a superlative.
I know. Well, yeah.
Darren Waller's not a superlative.
Most likely to be Darren Waller. All right.
Darren Waller would love that.
Let's pack this one up. As always, I'm Jax McCarty.
And Austin Powers voices Shrek.
See you guys next time.
Please show me